Hello, in this lesson we're going to be doing some interesting things with roller coasters again. So let's look at some of the variables we might need. We're going to get rid of all of this because this is for the last lesson, like so. The first thing we're going to need is on start, like so. We need a variable. Let's take a look at, let's use the same one as last week, so we'll have line length. We're also going to make a new variable, and this new variable is going to be called spiral width. And we're only going to add these two things, right? So we're going to set this to something and also get one more. There we go. So this is going to be a line length. There we go. So we're going to set the spiral width to be 5. And line length is going to be 12. Now, you could have made these anything, to be honest. They don't need to be these, but these are just the ones I've chosen. I'm also going to make the power interval set to 2. And if you watch the last video, you'll understand why we're not doing it to 1 anymore. We're doing it to 2 instead, which will be much better for the code that we have in mind. So we're going to press play. Or rather, we're not going to press play. We're going to start building our roller coaster. So this is going to be our long roller coaster. We'll type in long RC. There we go. Now, this is being inspired by a roller coaster that you can probably experience in many countries, but this is one that I used to go to a lot when I was a young child at the same age as you. And this was called, I think it was called the Slingshot or Speed. And I remember the adverts for this were so interesting. They had people making really funny expressions. So we're going to be making a really, really long roller coaster. So let's start. So the first thing we need is of course going to be our begin track. We're going to say 500, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add a, where are we? We're going to add, here, roller coaster. We're going to add our straight line length right there. We're going to add that variable straight line length, which is going to be right here. And then we're going to add a ramp up. Now, the ramp up, I actually want the ramp up to be super long, to be honest. So, because that's kind of part of the joy of the roller coaster that I'm talking about. So we're going to add this here. Let's see what happens now if I do this. So I'll type in long RC. Now, as this is building, I want you to think about what is the easiest way that I could extend this ramp to go up and 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 up. What can I do? Well, there's a lot of things I can do, but what I'm going to do, which is quite easy to do, is I'm going to add this repeat right here. There we go. And that will be perfect for what I want. Type in long RC again. This time it's going to go up and up and up and up and up. Very far. And this is going to be our roller coaster. This will be a super tall roller coaster. Quite scary. Imagine if you were this high in real life. Yeah, I'm not scared of roller coasters, but I do sometimes feel a sense of dread when I go on roller coasters. Okay, so let's go forward. So this is our roller coaster so far. It goes up, it goes up, it goes up, like so. And then, of course, we fall off because there's nothing here. But this is kind of too harsh. I don't want this ramp to be so harsh like it is now. So what can I do? Can you see this? This changes things for us. So if I put this as 2, this will make the roller coaster ramp length a lot less harsh. So try and figure out what it's doing. Can you see that the roller coaster length now goes up slightly rather than going up so harshly like it did before? So you can actually make it longer by doing this. Now this does make things tricky. This does make it more difficult for us to loop back on ourselves, but it's okay. I'm going to show you a really easy way to loop back on ourselves, because all we need to do is just follow across this line right here, and then we can just repeat the same thing we did on the way down, and that will meet back with our roller coaster, right? So that's what we're going to be doing. This is our long roller coaster. So we can add a right turn, roller coaster right turn, add another straight line length, like so. We'll add this again, like so. Repeat 4 times, and then I think we also need to add a. Yeah, let's see what happens first, actually, before we get ahead of ourselves, because I could be wrong. So you can see now it goes forward. It's going to follow this really long trajectory upwards, and then hopefully it's going to turn right, go forward. Okay. There we go. Wonderful. Ah, so we did make a mistake. So this should be down. Okay. So let's change that so that it is going down. Now while it's making, or while it's creating, or being built rather, we'll just use the roller coaster. And that's quite funny, the way the cart goes up. Okay. It's going to go up and up and up. It's going to see the right turn. There we go. So we made another mistake, in fact. So we needed to add another right turn before the ramp, which is fine. We can adjust that right now. There we go. And we should be adding this. There we go. So at the end of the ramps that go down, then we're going to add another right turn and then say go forward by this much line length. And that should hopefully allow us to meet our roller coaster back where it was. So let's see if we can ride this. Hopefully it doesn't catch up too fast. I don't think it will. This is quite a funny animation though. I do like this animation. Okay. Now you can see it's going down, it's going down. Very good. And eventually it's going to turn right and make a right turn right here. Good. Ah, we need one more thing to do. Okay. So we should add one more right turn. Like so. And this will be it. This will be our code done, and this will be our really long roller coaster ride. So you can see how we can make things really interesting, or make some really interesting roller coasters in this way. Now the next roller coaster is one of my favorites. It's going to be making a roller coaster out of so many different spirals, which I find really enjoyable, and hopefully you do too. So this is our long roller coaster, hopefully completed. We're just going to check to see if this is correct. Go down, 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 down. Very good. Take a right, and then a right turn after the straight line. Okay, and now, yeah, you can see. Okay. If I want this to repeat, I can. Okay. And now that'll repeat in the same way it did. Very good. But I'm going to let it do its thing because I don't need to watch this or experience this roller coaster again. I've already experienced it the one time from start to finish. So the next thing we're going to do is make a spiral roller coaster, which is going to be quite fun. Well, at least I think it's quite fun. You see, this is not too difficult, right? This code is quite easy. So let's make our spiral roller coaster. Okay, we'll type in spiral RC. We're going to take this here from there. We'll take that. And then we're going to add a spiral up. Let's take a look. Add line length. And we're going to use spiral width, which we have not used before. There we go. Now let's see what happens when I press spiral, or rather I type in spiral RC. Goes up. Okay, so the spiral is much bigger than it was before, right? Because do you remember before it was making a spiral, but it was much tighter. So yeah. Now the important thing about spirals is that it's quite difficult to predict where it's going to end based on the numbers and how they've coded it. So I would add a spiral, press play, see where it ends, and then you can figure out what to do next. So I know that now I want to go forward, and And then I also want to turn left, but this time go down. Let's see what happens. And hopefully this should turn us back in the direction of our entrance or our track start. Let's actually jump inside and use a roller coaster. Okay. Yeah, so as I predicted, it did go in the right place. You can see, yeah, it goes forward. Okay, good. Now what can we do? Well, we could add another line length forward, like so. We can add a right turn, add another one of these, add another one of these, and then that should actually complete the circuit, I think. Let's see. We'll go inside. Okay. Okay. Now you can see that this does oh, it does. It completes the circuit, but by too much. Okay. So yeah, it takes us too far out. Okay, so what can we do for the very last side? What do we need to do for this very last, this one here? We need to decrease our, how much do we need to decrease it by? 1, 2, 3, I think. So we can now say variables change line length by -3. And this should hopefully fix the issue we're having. And that'll be it. If you can do these two things, then you'll have completed the goals of the lesson and you can finally build your own roller coaster. And I want you to be very creative with your roller coaster. But try things one step at a time. Okay, so yeah, we can see now it's sort of linked up, right? Really good. Okay, let's see what happens. Goes up, very good. Good, okay. And it repeats. Good, amazing. So that's pretty much it for this lesson. And hopefully you can make your very long roller coaster and your spirally roller coaster. I encourage you to make as many spirals as you can, right? Why not? Make something really interesting. Mine's kind of interesting, but it can be made more interesting, right? You can even add spirals down. You can add spirals going right, left, up, down. You can add ramps if you want to. There's a lot of things you can do, right? And if you really don't want to, you don't have to make it join at the end. I do because I like it, but you can just use this at the end. Add track end, like so. If I can find it. There we are, place track end. And that's it, call it a day, right? So hopefully this is fun and a good lesson for you guys. I'll see you guys very soon. Goodbye.